Tonight on Denver7 News at 6.
We've been struggling to hire people.
Denver gets into the weeds.
We can't mow as much. We can't pick up as much trash.
Police stop a car and find a young woman missing for nearly 2 years.
I've just been busting trying to find her, and our primary concern was, where is she? Is she alive? Is she safe?
Colorado lawmakers race against the clock.
We still have so much important work to do.
And airlines were ready for a weekend like this. The rental car industry was not.
Now they're in the business of buying back cars to meet demand.
And good evening. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Ann Trujillo. Denver Parks and Rec is down on cash, which means they're down on people, which means the parks might not look so pristine this summer.
Expect more trash, longer grass, fewer flowers. And here with tonight's top stories, Denver7's Liz Gilardi.
Over the past year, we've been spending a lot of time outside. Parks seem to be busier than ever before, but the same pandemic that forced us outside is also hurting the Parks Department budget.
We love this park. We live nearby, and we take our son here a lot.
Park trips are part of the routine for Julia Duvall and 9-month-old Jude.
He loves to be outside, and nothing calms down a crying baby better than being at the park, I feel like.
Julia told us she loves Wash Park because it's great for kids. It has a nice walking path, and it's well maintained. Although we saw crews out cutting grass and planting flowers on this beautiful day, you might not be seeing them as often.
You know, it's just been challenging.
Scott Gilmore is the Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation. He explained his department usually has about 200 part-time seasonal staff this time of year. Right now, that number is only 100. He's looking to fill some additional spots, but it's been hard to find help.
And we're getting the job done, so don't think that the parks are going to fall apart or be in a horrible shape. Sometimes you might not see the edging as nice, or, you know, the grass might be a little bit longer, but we're going to get to it. And it just might take us a little more time.
Again, this all comes at a time when our parks are busier than ever before. It's impossible for Denver to count the exact number of people, but the city is counting trash bags. Here in Wash Park, trash bag usage is up 45%.
But I just hope that it doesn't have an effect on, the maintenance of the parks.
I think it's very important to have the parks. It's a huge reason why I love Denver so much, is all the beautiful parks there to go to.
We also wanted to know about some of the smaller parks and what kind of impact the reduction in staff will have there.
So a lot of those communities might be communities of color, lower income neighborhoods that traditionally have been neglected, to be honest. And so what we also do is we do try to make sure that those neighborhoods and those neighborhood parks that serve those communities, that we're putting a little extra effort into it.
But with staff stretched thin, Denver Parks officials are asking visitors to be understanding as they head outside this summer. Liz Gilardi, Denver7.
Incoming DPS Superintendent Alex Marrero is being sued in his home state of New York. The medical director of Marrero's previous school district says she recommended schools be closed early in the pandemic, but was silenced by management. Marrero was the assistant superintendent at that time. Now, the lawsuit expresses concerns with his handling of the crisis and claims he tried to help staffers jump the line in getting the vaccine. We have reached out to Denver Public Schools for comment, but have not heard back.
Well, the prosecution called Brendan Bialy to the stand today in the STEM school shooting trial. Now, Bialy was one of 3 students to tackle gunman Devin Erickson. Another of the 3 was hit but survived, and the third, as you know, was Kendra Castillo. Bialy said he had to pry the gun from Erickson's fingers, at which time Erickson said he was sorry, and that Alec McKinney, his co-conspirator, made him do it. Trial resumes Monday.
A young woman who was allegedly kidnapped by her father in 2019 and who was said to be living in Colorado has been found safe in South Alabama. 18-year-old Daphne Westbrook was pulled over just after midnight, and you will notice the Colorado plates on her car and that she's smiling for the camera. Well, the lead investigator on the case did not find that reaction unusual.
I was not surprised at her state because I knew that for the past 18 months, she had been essentially entirely withheld from social interaction, from education, from healthcare.
Daphne's father, John, is still on the run. Investigators say he has proven very good at covering his tracks and at living off the grid.
2 people were taken to the hospital today after this plane crash near Wellington. First responders didn't give their conditions, although we do know one was taken to the hospital by helicopter. Northern Colorado Regional Airport says engine failure was to blame.
There will be no commission to study the January 6th attempted insurrection at the Capitol. Senator Mitch McConnell was successful in swaying all but 6 Republicans to vote no or abstain. McConnell, who did little to hold President Trump accountable for his role, wants the country to move on. Colorado's Michael Bennett is unwilling to allow such a convenience.
I do not believe the additional extraneous commission that Democratic leaders want would uncover crucial new facts or promote healing. Frankly, I do not believe it is even designed to do that.
We still have members of Congress who are saying the election was stolen. We still have members of Congress who won't face the facts and tell their constituents the truth. I want to say again, respect your constituents enough that you're going to tell them the truth.
The 6 Republicans to vote for the commission were Senators Cassidy, Collins, Murkowski, Portman, Sass, and Romney.
Well, Colorado lawmakers have a long way to go and a short time to get there with this current session.
Some of the most talked about bills of the year are still on the table. As Denver7's Megan Lopez reports, getting them to the governor's desk will require more than a few late nights.
Further discussion on the Finance Committee report.
Normally during this point in the spring, the legislature is long gone, back to their districts for a break. But just like everything with the pandemic, this session is different.
We're about a month past when we're supposed to adjourn. We still have so much important work to do.
It's posed some unique challenges for people like Senator Jerry Sonnenberg.
He's got to be in Sterling putting seeds in the ground and spraying and watering, and if he doesn't do that, he doesn't have crops this year.
He participated remotely from inside his tractor on Friday. While the legislature has been adaptable, there's still more than 200 bills left to go this session.
We still have some big priorities that we're trying to get finished.
Some of the biggest bills include transportation, which was debated on the House floor Friday, gun bills for background checks and local control, police accountability bills, a climate change bill, a jail reform bill, and some health bills.
Many of these prescription drugs are far too expensive, especially in the midst of this pandemic. We need to be able to provide those resources.
And if all that wasn't enough, even more are on the way to address the state stimulus dollars coming in.
Plus, we have federal dollars that are going to be coming in shortly as well.
So some of that we have to decide how we're going to allocate some of that $3.9 billion immediately. We also have bills to set up accounts to where we can put that money.
If that sounds like a lot, it's because it is, meaning some late nights and working weekends could be in the cards.
This time of year, we're very accustomed to working late.
End of session tends to feel like a crunch.
Lawmakers were hoping to end the session by Memorial Day, but that isn't happening. The must-end date is June 12th. They're hoping to get out before then, but only if they can get through all these bills first.
We're all kind of feeling like we haven't had much of a chance to really stop and breathe.
Megan Lopez, Denver7.
Douglas County wants to part ways with TriCounty Health. Adams and Arapahoe counties are weighing their options, and Aurora just wants everyone to settle down and take a breath. You see, Aurora is in all 3 counties, and Mayor Mike Kaufman says separate organizations would cost more and be less efficient, and he's urging them to reconsider, something we don't see Douglas County doing.
Colorado's largest fireworks show will return to Dick's Sporting Goods Park this 4th of July. Independence Day also will mark the first full-capacity crowd of the season for the Rapids. Tickets go on sale next Friday.
Showers and thunderstorms affecting our holiday weekend coming up. I'll let you know what you can expect each and every day.
Finding a seat on a plane will be easy.
It was great. It was fantastic.
Finding a car, that could get complicated.
Many folks won't be able to get a rental car at all.